guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video I've tried to put together this nice spring and summer orangey bright lip look. So I've tried to keep the rest of my face neutral when this lip is a little bit brighter. Also, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Please click on that notification bell somewhere on the right, left, I'm not sure, but please do click on that notification bell so you'll know when I upload my videos. And without any further ado, let's get right into the video. First, I'm going to start off with a moisturizer. This is the Wellada Skin Food. This is the first time I'm trying this on my face. I'm just going to take a teeny tiny bit, about that much, and see how it goes. This is really thick, so I'm going to sort of like heat that, warm that up on my fingertips, and then sort of. For the eyes, as always, I'm going to use my Kheils Creamy Avocado Eye Treatment. Under eye creases, or if you've got any such problems, or like if you've got dry skin, this takes care of all of that. Sometimes what I do is if you have any like really dry patches on your skin, on your face, somewhere else, I use this over there as well. For example, I do have a really dry patch above my lips, so I'm sort of gonna press that in that area. So moving on to the foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible. I've got three shades with me. I've got 330, 140 and 260. So I'm just going to sort of mix these three up and get that nice summery bronzy shade. So I'm going to take a little bit of hazelnut on the back of my hand, about that much. And I'm going to mix in a little bit of, what is this, golden beige, like half of what I took with the other one, and a little bit of 260. This is the Golden Sun. So I've got a yellow undertone, just like a couple of drops with this one. I'm just going to mix these three with my finger. So this is what I've ended up with. I'm just going to dot that on my skin. Can you see that, like the shade difference? I want it to be that shade because I'm hoping for a bronzy, like a little darker tone. Next, I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, pick some up and just start putting it on my face. It's really dark for me. It's not very dark, but then it's sort of going orangish, and that's actually what I want, especially when we're using bright lip colors like reds or oranges. This is what we should aim for. We shouldn't go for like too flashy skin. When I'm going darker, I don't forget my ears. I usually don't forget my ears, but just make sure that every inch of my face is covered. So this is a conceal and corrector duo by MAC. You basically get an orange color corrector and a yellow on the other side. So I'm just going to use the orange for above my lips. I'm just going to dot like that. And I'm going to use a brush like this to sort of spread that around. And for under my eyes, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Concealer in the shade 5W. Okay, I'm going to use the 5W exactly where I've got the dark circles. And actually, I think my dark spots are a little too dark today, so I'm going to use a green color corrector for my dark spots. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender to blend the under eye concealer. Just like lightly push that into the skin and sort of like make sure that there's not much difference. And to brighten my face, I'm going to use a little bit of the Estee Lauder concealer, the same double wear concealer in the shade 4W. So this is like 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. Actually, this is like 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. So with the lighter concealer, what I do is I make a V under my eyes like this, and I go all the way up until here because that's where the high points of my cheeks are. And a little line on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead because this is where all the high points of my faces are, and then on my chin, a little bit on my lips. I'm not gonna blend that yet because I really want to put some contour. So to contour my face, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty contour and bronzer cream, and then I'm just going to dip that in, pick up a lot of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start above where my natural contour is, because when I blend it, I don't want it to go like a lot more down. I don't want it to go below the actual contour line, so that happens when you blend. So I'm just going to put it a bit on top of my natural contour line. So I'm going to start right underneath my cheekbones and then go all the way to the center of my cheek. And then I want to make my forehead look a little smaller, so I'm just gonna go on the borders of my hairline just here. And then I drew this line on the bridge of my nose, so I'm just gonna go slightly onto the sides of it because I want to make my nose look a little thinner basically. And then a little bit under my lips, and obviously on the sides of my jawline. I went a little bit on my ear, but that's fine. Let me bring it up like this and then go all the way in here. Also, I forgot to conceal my lips, the pigmentation on my lips. I'm just gonna place like 3 dots exactly where I put my color corrector. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to start off with my concealer, so I'm just gonna go in and then blend all of that. I'm going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus on it just because it seems like it's all dry now. So a little trick is when you really want to cover your pimples or when you want to cover your dark circles, you put the concealer on, leave it there for about like 1.5 minutes, and then you start blending it. That's when it sticks, it stays in place, sort of settles, and then you're sort of like adjusting it to where you actually want it. I'm gonna use the same brush to blend it on the sides of my lips. A little bit on my forehead, so I'm just gonna blend that. And then for my nose, I'm gonna blend it exactly in the direction of the line I put it in. So I'm just gonna blend it like vertically downwards so I don't mess it up. See? With the nose contours, what I usually do is blend it sideways so that it goes a little bit onto the sides, and the bridge of my nose is usually enhanced. For the rest of the contours, I'm going to use the MAC 130 brush. This is like basically a bigger version of this brush. I really like this brush. So I'm going to start off with my forehead, going in with lighter strokes. I'm just going to go in circular motions to blend that. So I'm going to take it in a little bit onto my hairline so that it looks like a continuous flow rather than this looking paler and this looking a little darker. So I'm just going to go in circular motions, bringing it down. That's it. Same thing with my cheeks. So with my cheeks, what I do is I use the corner of the brush to sort of blend it upwards a bit. If this goes any lower than the actual contour line, your face is going to look droopy, which is really weird. And then going on to the sides of my face, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to blend the sides first and then going in onto my jaw. When I'm blending the jaw, I'm going to bring that contour deeper into my neck. I'm not going to bring it up, I'm going to take it down. So I'm just going to put that concealer above the color corrector that I put. So once I let that concealer set, I'm going to take the tip of my beauty blender and then blend it really, really lightly. I don't want it to look like a spot, but at the same time it shouldn't be like I'm picking up all the concealer from there. So I'm gonna go in with a really light strokes and then I'm gonna like blend that. That should do. Same thing on the other side. I'm just going to lightly blend that around. As soon as I do that, I'm going to put some powder on there because I don't want all of these creases to settle in. And for that, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder. That's a long name. Okay, this is what it looks like. So this is a translucent powder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my beauty blender directly in there. And I'm going to sort of bake. And for my brows, I'm going to use the Zings. This is a new palette. I recently got it from Boots. This is the Benefit Zings. Benefit Zings Pro palette. Brows just take too much of my time, so I'm just gonna do them like this. Anyway, now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my lids. To conceal my lids, I'm gonna use the 5W because my lids are a little warmer and a little darker than the rest of my face. I'm just going to use the Estee Lauder 5W to conceal my eyelids. You can also go ahead and use a primer, but I like to use concealer because it also sort of conceals the lids and then like stops the oil from coming onto the lids. By the way, my lids are too oily, so concealer really helps me to keep the powder in place. That might seem like a bit too much, but trust me, it's not. So we used a lighter concealer to sort of clear the brow area and then a darker concealer to conceal my lids because you want that highlight underneath your brows, but then my lids are darker, so that's why I used a darker concealer for my lids. So as soon as I put the concealer, I really like to set it before it creases. So I'm gonna take like a powder brush and then like apply it on my lids. So this is going to let the eyeshadow flow a little smoother. Now that my lids are ready, I'm going to move on to my eyes. Today I'm going to use the Toofaced Sweet Peach palette, which is one of the most amazing smelling palette that I've ever had. So these are the colors. I'm just going to go with the look. The aim for me is to bring in some orange and some peaches because we are going with orange lip today. So first I'm going to go in with this shade called Puree and I'm going to use a Sigma E40 to put that shade right on the outer crease. So I'm just going to put it there and then slowly drag the same color onto the inner lids. Now that the brown is placed, I want a little bit of peach there, so I'm going to go in with the shade Caramelized to bring in that color. I'm exactly going to put it on the outer crease and then slowly drag it inwards. After that, I'm going to go in with a little bit of summer yum. So I'm going to take a small blending brush for this, which is like a little bit pointed at the end, so I can put it exactly where I want to. I'm going to pick that up on the tip of the brush like this, and then I'm going to go in exactly on the crease. This time I'm going with the windscreen wiper motion because I want that evenly spread out on the crease like that. Next on my lid, I do want a lighter color because we're going in with a bright orange lip, so we don't want to go too dark with our eyes, but at the same time we don't want it to look too pale. That's why I've put a little brown and peach shades on the outer, like the creases and the transition colors, but on the lid I really want this light shade. So I'm gonna go in with the base as the peaches and cream, and then on top of that I'm gonna lay in a little bit of luscious. I'm gonna pick that up on the tip of my brush, and then I'm gonna start with the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm gonna lay it in above the concealer. I don't want too much of the color. Again, if you put too much of light colors on your lid, it's gonna look too pale like this. Next I'm gonna go in with a little bit of luscious. This is like a nice shimmery peach color, so I'm just gonna lay that on top. With the same brush. So after I put that, I really want to blend all of that because I don't want any harsh edges, so I'm just gonna use E40 again, but a clean one this time to sort of blend this color, just to erase any harsh edges. So I'm gonna take the E32 brush, which is like an exact blending brush, and I'm gonna pick up the shade Summer Yum on the outer V. This is gonna bring in some more color and act as a darker base for the darker colors. So as soon as I put that in, you can see that this brings a little bit of dimension. Next I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Peach Pit and layer that on top of Summer Yum. I'm again going back with E45 and then picking up this Summer Yum shade, and I'm gonna put that on the crease a little bit. I'm gonna take my E35. I'm gonna pick up this puree again so that I can blend all the colors together. So little tip is, once you put all your colors, and if you want to blend it nice and well, you can always go back in with the transition shade to get that smooth flow of colors. Okay, onto the inner corner. I think I'm gonna pick up Nectar, which is like a really light shade. I'm gonna put that on the inner corner and then slightly bring it up to onto the inner lid like this. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with the shade Puree and then put it underneath the lower lash line, and then on top of it I'm gonna put a little bit of Summer Yum. Again, on top of that, a little bit of Peach Pit, just really close to the lash line. And then for my lower lash line, I'm gonna use this dark black pencil and then line a little bit, just a little bit on the outer parts of the eye. And to smudge that, I'm gonna use a pencil brush. This is a Sigma E30, and then I'm just going to bring that color all the way to the inner corner. For my lash line, I'm going to try and give it a little bit of wing, so let's go. I'm going to use the Kat 1D for that. I'm going to use the Kat 1D for that. First, I'm going to line my eye really close to the lash line, and then I slowly wing it out a little Don't want too much of a wing, it just has to give it that natural sort of a flow. I'm gonna After that, underneath my eyes, I always like to use pencils, and since we are going in with a little bit of orange lip today, I'm gonna take this Urban Decay 24x7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Torch, which is like a nice orangey color, and then I'm gonna put that white underneath on the waterline. So that gives me a nice orangey look for my under eyes, if you can see. That's pretty much it. I'm done with my eyes. Before I put my lashes, I like to put on a single coat of mascara. Next, I'm gonna put on Ardell Wispies. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and added some lashes. I cleared some of the powder off of my face because it was literally settling into my pores. For the bronzer, I'm gonna use the MAC Studio Fix powder plus foundation. This is like I usually use this as a setting powder, but just because I have this in this shade and I love the consistency of this product, I'm gonna use this as a bronzer. I'm gonna go in a little bit on my cheeks. A little bit there on my forehead, taking that into my hairline. So I'm going to use this NYX Sweet Cheeks blush palette. I'm going to pick this orange shade and put a little bit on my cheeks. Next, it's time for the highlighter, and for that I'm going to use this nice little mini kit by Fenty Beauty. So this is called Killawat Foil. I don't know if I'm spelling that right, but that's what it's called. I'm going to pick that up on the tip of my brush and then go on the high points of my cheeks, on my nose, on my forehead, just a bit, and my chin. I'm also going to put a little bit of that on the inner corner. And for my lips, I'm going to use nice bright orange shades. For that, I've got my Toofaced Where's My Peaches at lipstick, and I've also got a gloss, which is the Toofaced Tickle Me Peach. So first, I'm going to use the lipstick to get the base. Bright orange. To give it some gloss, I'm gonna put in the same Toofaced Tickle Me Peach gloss. If you don't have Toofaced available where you live, especially in India, I've got the Color Bar lipsticks in the shades Tangerine and Orange Punch. These two work the same. I'm going to set everything with a little bit of All Nighter setting spray. And then use the Beauty Blender to push that into the skin. That's it, guys. That's the look. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you try it and how it goes. This is what I prefer during summers. One of the looks that I prefer during summers. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and lots of love and prayers for you. See you again. Bye bye.